Heading into Chicago Fire Season 14, many characters' fates are up in the air, including Christopher Herrmann's, but a recent update confirms his, and one other important figure's, future at Firehouse 51. The NBC procedural drama's 2024 to 2025 season concluded with a sacrifice, a reunited love, an exonerated chief, and an exciting development in one fan-favorite couple's story. Overall, the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale should have been regarded as a happy, complete ending. However, when looking closer and finding out behind-the-scenes information, it's unclear what comes next for a handful of the show's firefighters and paramedics. During Season 13, Herrmann worked on becoming a chief in the Chicago Fire Department, ideally at Firehouse 51. In the Chicago Fire Season 12 final, Wallace Bowden had earlier named Herrmann as his replacement. However, he was passed over for the position of chief of the fire station because he lacked the necessary qualifications. Dom Pascal. Herrmann continued to prepare for the necessary examinations so that he could be appointed chief. Sadly, his choice in the final eliminated his hopes of being promoted and even led to his demonetization, which made Pascal's comeback possible. Dermot Mulroney will continue to play Dom Pascal in Chicago Fire Season 14. Pascal will remain as Firehouse 51's chief. According to a report from Deadline, NBC has finalized deals with the leads of every one Chicago TV show to return for the upcoming 2025 to 2026 season. So that means that Dermot Mulroney, Chief Dom Pascal, along with Taylor Kinney, Kelly Severide, and Miranda Ray Mayo, Stella Kidd, will reprise their respective roles as the faces of Chicago Fire in Season 14. Meanwhile, Jason Bavey is back as Hank Voight in Chicago PD Season 13. And as for Chicago Med, S. Epatha Merkerson, Sharon Goodwin, and Oliver Platt, Dr. Daniel Charles will continue starring in the series for its 11th season. Given that budget cuts threaten to eliminate cast members from the One Chicago universe, the agreement between the network and the stars is significant. Some were afraid that more might join Jake Lockett and Daniel Keary, who had previously been fired from Chicago Fire. The return of Kinney and Mayo was uncertain because their contracts had ended at the end of Season 13, and Mulroney had originally only agreed to a one-year contract. But we now know that all three will come back. Pascal will presumably continue to serve as Firehouse 51's chief, while Severide and Kidd will continue to explore their motherhood plot. Pascal staying at Firehouse 51 means Herrmann's self-imposed demotion will stick. Herrmann is no longer Engine 51's lieutenant. Given that Dermot Mulroney will continue his role as a main character in the Chicago Fire cast, it appears that Herrmann's demotion will carry over into Season 14. He chose not to take the chief's exam during Season 13's finale. Then Herrmann stepped aside as Engine 51's lieutenant so that Randall Mouch Motholland could take over. Herrmann and Mouch stuck by each other's sides throughout Season 13, supporting one another as they sought higher roles within the CFD. It was Mouch's dream to become a lieutenant while also staying at Firehouse 51, and Herrmann wanted his friend to achieve that goal. Since there could only be one lieutenant on Engine Company 51 and Herrmann didn't want to be chief, he had to ask for a demotion in the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale. He and Mouch couldn't lead Engine 51 together. As a result, Herrmann stepped down without informing Mouch, who was quite surprised when his bosses told him about his promotion to lieutenant. Nevertheless, Mouch became Engine 51's sole lieutenant at the end of Chicago Fire Season 13, while Herrmann was merely one of his firefighters. This significant change will stick in the upcoming episodes of the NBC procedural drama series. Can Herrmann still become Firehouse 51's chief in Chicago Fire? Herrmann has options. Although Herrmann stopped pursuing the chief position in Chicago Fire Season 13, that doesn't mean he'll never try again. But the odds are rather low, given the events of Season 13. From the jump, Herrmann consistently seemed hesitant to accept Bowden's recommendation and take over as Firehouse 51's chief. Then, in the end, he didn't even take the chief's test. Plus, it certainly doesn't help that Herrmann doesn't currently hold the lieutenant or captain rank. He's simply a firefighter. Perhaps Herrmann's demotion in Season 14 will make him miss his former leadership position, though convincing him to reconsider his decision. Ultimately, the answer to whether Herrmann could still become Firehouse 51's chief is quite nuanced. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my Fast Gossip 24 to our channel and stay with us.